for joining me. Hope you all are well. This is a new addition to the Vault Excel Sunday Sinners. This is where I bring you crazy commentary from Americans who have done crazy stuff. Subscribe, drop the comments below this video, and also check out the short pertaining to this content. North Carolina man and others accused of severely beating man in cruise ship elevator dispute. Cruise passenger is facing a felony charge in South Florida after he and others beat and bloodied a man to the point of unconsciousness while on a Royal Caribbean ship, according to court documents obtained by Local 10 News on Wednesday. Michael White, 18, of Siler City, North Carolina, was arrested by Broward County deputies Friday after the Liberty of the Seas returned to Port Everett. White has at least one co-defendant listed in his arrest report, though the person's name did not appear in the Broward court records. According to a Broward Sheriff's Office arrest report, the dispute happened Thursday at sea after a woman who was with the victim asked a group of kids to stop jumping up and down on the elevator, which was causing it to sway. The group started yelling and saying, "BITCH, who are you talking to?" At this point, the victim said he yelled to stop jumping in the elevator, but the kids wouldn't stop. They kept arguing and Deputy Demetrius Williams wrote in the report. Deputy said after the elevator stopped on the 8th floor, the victim told the woman, "We got to get out of here." The kids did not move when the door opened, so he pushed through the crowd to exit the elevator, Williams wrote. Once he got out, he said he started getting struck by individuals in the face area, causing him to stagger backward. After staggering backward, he redacted, fell to the floor, and that's when he started getting kicked. Also at this point, the victim said he blacked out, and next thing he knew, he woke up in a pool of blood on the floor. White was arrested on a felony charge of aggravated battery causing bodily harm. BSO records show he was released from jail on Saturday after posting a $5,000 bond. A judge ordered he have no contact with the victim. So now how is this going to work out? Because I don't know where the victim and his wife live, if they live in the general area, because this African-American male lives in North Carolina, so now he's got to go to Florida to go or ask the judge to Skype. Same thing for the victim and his witness, which will be his wife. This shows you how sad America is, that you can't even take a trip. We've heard so many crazy stories of Americans going abroad and going missing, being hurt, coming back in a box. But yet these people are on a cruise ship trying to enjoy themselves, and all they want to do is get in the elevator and get out. I don't know what was said. I wasn't there, just going by what was read here in this report. But one thing begets another. And we live in a society where you can't even say things to people, even when they are in the wrong. And jumping in an elevator on a cruise ship, hell yeah, that's wrong. Because I'm sure it was swaying. And as they said in one report, if you keep jumping on an elevator, the damn thing can stop working. Who wants to be trapped in an elevator on a cruise ship? Come on now. Frankly, nobody wants to be trapped on an elevator anywhere. Okay? But this shows you how ignorant people are. And these young people don't know the ages of the other men who joined in this brawl. But they all need their tails whooped, including Mr. White here, 18 years of age from North Carolina. Don't know who he went on the ship with, but all of them need their tails whooped because they had no business beating this man up. And I'm sure that lady, she was petrified being in that elevator with a bunch of men, and they're arguing back and forth and, calling them names. And, I don't know what these people said to the young men either. But either way, it should have never got out of hand. When they asked you to stop jumping up and down in the elevator, you all should have stopped. You should have just said, "Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, sir." Why would you even be doing that anyway? And what's even more crazy, besides this ignorant behavior of strangers, they were strangers. Michael White decides to jump in on a brawl with some other men beating up this man. Don't know the age of the man. But you would decide, here, this fool here, you and the other fools, you're going to jump in on something that didn't concern you. You're going to start fighting these people, beating this man up. Why? On a cruise ship. And you thought what? You weren't going to get arrested? You thought the man wasn't going to go tell it? Now, I don't know the race of the man who got beat up. When I get that information, I'll tell you. Some will say it doesn't matter. Well, I'll bring you all the information because somebody, no big deal. It is what it is. But nonetheless, when they were asked to please stop jumping up and down in the elevator, they should have complied. But we don't live in that type of world where people want to do rights. People do what they want, say what they want. And sadly, this man got beat up, blacked out, and this fool is walking out free now on a $5,000 bond. Now put that on paper. Now put that on paper. Okay? Put that on paper. He's walking free. And what's worse, well, what's good is they don't live in the same area where he could stalk and bother the man. But, you know, hey, we got crazy people out here who will try to find you. But he doesn't have to worry about bumping into him at the local mall, if you get what I'm saying, or the local Piggly Wiggly. Somebody by the same name, Michael White 23 says, can't believe all this hatred. Yes, I admit my wrongs in this situation. Oh, is this him repeating this? I admit my wrongs in this situation, and from the time it happened to now, I've understood my wrongs in this, but y'all only see what I did wrong instead of seeing eye to eye with both parties. Shaking my head, so much hate for what? I don't know if that's the real Michael White. So Taddy85 says, so tell your side then. TJ0716 said, a fellow cruiser asked you to stop jumping. You called her a bitch and kept jumping. Sounds like common courtesy could have prevented this issue. What wrong did the other party do? Were they arrested or ticketed? Now is your chance to tell your side. What do I not understand? And then Stephanie says, what is wrong with you? Wow, wow, wow. Then some smart ass says, thought Carnival was the black cruise line. Can't get away from it. Stupid. Somebody else says, Hanko says, why is he walking the streets? Then somebody says, why are B people so angry? Wow. See, this is where I have a problem. Anytime there's a black person that's arrested, there's always these ugly comments made. All types of people commit crimes. I could say the same thing about white people. Why are white people so angry? So see, that's an ignorant comment to make. Why are black people so angry? You don't even know the race of the other people who were fighting in the beating the man up. It could have been a Mexican, could have been a white person. You can't just assume because he's black. They didn't even know each other for one. We don't even know the race of the other guys who were beating the man up. Just reading you all the comments. Then somebody says, just look at that face. Typical, you can't even go on vacation without being negatively affected by that breed. Wow. A lot of racist comments here. Then we got chicken comments. I'm not going to read any more of this because it's just garbage. The point is, all walks of life are tainted. All walks of life are problems. It doesn't really matter to me what the race was. If he was black, white, it doesn't matter. Because every time I look on the news, there's always somebody doing something. And they're all races of people. We have just wayward people. And like I said, we don't even know the race of the other guys who beat up the man. There were 2 other people as well. And the article didn't specify what their race was. It doesn't matter. The point is, they should have stopped jumping in the elevator when the lady asked them to stop. They didn't stop, so then the male said something. He told the wife, we need to get out this elevator. Once they made it to the 8th floor, he brushed past them, because I guess they were blocking the way to let him out. And then once he got out of the elevator, one of the men, boys, whomever, started punching him. Don't know the ages of the other participants. But yes, you need to release their names as well. Release their names, their ages, because people are going to want to know. Since these article that I just read has such nasty comments about black people. But this just shows you how much hate and racism is here in this country. When somebody black does something, here comes all these nasty comments. But yet, white people commit crimes all the time. I'm trying to figure out what's the difference. What's the difference? There is no difference. I wouldn't care what his race was. He didn't have any business jumping up in the elevator. And if he wasn't jumping up in the elevator and he just decided to pass some licks to an innocent person, he didn't have any right doing that. He didn't have any right. He and these other participants had no right to beat the man up. Now, it's going to be a flip side, as this Michael 23 says. Don't know who he is, if he's the real Michael 23 or not. What the other people did in the elevator. The point is, you're on a cruise ship to enjoy yourself. Be quiet. Don't join in on the nonsense, the BS. All of you all were there allegedly to enjoy yourselves, and that's what you should have done. And now we have a man who's probably fearful to go back on a cruise ship, he and the wife. I definitely wouldn't want to go back on a cruise ship. I'm not going on a cruise ship anyway because I'm not getting ready to suck down all that water. That's just quaint. You have no control when you're on the open seas, and I wouldn't do it. I mean, you can barely do anything on dry land, as you can see, with all the crimes that go on in America and just walking outside your door trying to stay safe. I'm definitely not getting on a cruise ship because anything can happen on a cruise ship, okay? We just assume the boat's going to stay on top of the water because it's a big boat, but hell, anything can happen, you know? One of the cruise ships lost power, and they had to get another boat to tug that boat back in to dry land, and that's a terrible thing. The bathroom stopped working, so then the toilets were backed up. Naturally, people have to use the bathroom, so you can use your imagination what the boat probably started smelling like. So, worst case scenario, no thank you. No thank you. Sounds like a lot of fun. You want to get on a cruise ship, that is your prerogative. Also, traveling overseas, that has become dangerous. Many places have been deemed not the best places to go, such as Mexico, Bahamas, Jamaica, southern South American countries. I don't recommend traveling to any of those places just because people can peep out Americans, especially white people. They see fair-skinned people, blonde hair, they assume, oh, they got money. Next thing you know, they're following you around, they're trying to drug you. Going to these places, these islands, these South American countries. And now, as you see, even getting on a cruise ship, you can't even go on a cruise ship and enjoy your damn self. You got to worry about getting into an altercation. The problem is that people are just wayward. That's the problem. So whether it's a cruise ship, an island, here in America, any other foreign country, the problem is us. We're the problem. We're jacked up. We got bad ways, bad attitudes. We don't know how to deal in stressful situations. We got to have the last word. A lot of us are like that. We got to have the last damn word. We got to give our opinion. Sometimes it's best you just don't give your opinion. So everybody in that elevator should have just shut the hell up and let the elevator get to your destination and you get off the elevator and go on your way. But instead, we had some little roughhousers that wanted to jump up and down on the elevator. These two people said something to them. Next thing you know, we've got people arguing, name calling, and then the man tries to get off the elevator. He makes his way out. And they start plummeting this man. Beat this man to where he blacked out. His version. Now, I don't know if he put his hands in any of their faces or put his hands on any of them in the elevator. I don't know. But this young black man and the other two men, they can go to court and tell their side to why they felt the need to beat up a man on a cruise ship. Hello, Penn. In the end, it's like every story. One thing begets another. One word, one look, one snarl, then somebody responds. Somebody responds, then it's on like Donkey Kong. And that's the problem. And that's with black people, that's with white people, that's with Mexican, Jewish, Muslim, whomever. Everybody is fucked up. I see people every day with badass attitudes, and they are white, they are black, they are Mexican, Hispanic, Latino, whatever word you want to use, Native American. They are fucked up because we all got ways about ourselves. You can be called mean if you don't give people the response that they want. I get it all the time. Just because I don't agree with somebody. Oh, you're mean. Why? Because I don't agree with you? I tell you something I don't like, then I'm mean? I notice that with a lot of people. So long as you don't agree with them, you're considered mean. You don't like something out of the way that they said, you're mean. Why? Because I spoke my opinion. But it's okay for you to give your opinion. That's the world we live in. You're mean, you're rude if somebody don't agree. You cannot give your opinion. Oh, that was nasty. That was rude. Why? Because I don't like what you said. Oh, I was offended by what you said. Now I'm mean. That's the society we live in. And people get so offended when you speak your opinion that you don't like something or something bothered you. It's the world we live in. It's how crazy the world is. That's why I said it's a flip of the coin. You can't win. It's just the way the world is. That's my commentary, everybody. Sunday Sinners, new addition to the Vault XL. I was going to put it under Your Crazy America, but since it's a Sunday, I decided to put it under Sunday Sinners. So I'll be back with more stimulating content. The next live stream I'll do will be pertaining to Deion Sanders' son. He had a terrible prank played on him during the NFL drafts, which was so just uncalled for. And somebody called pretending to be the New Orleans Saints general manager. And where I have a problem with this is not the act itself, not just the act itself, but the fact that somebody had his telephone number and called his phone directly. He's recorded on his own phone, thinking he's talking to somebody, but he had a feeling that something wasn't right when they told him, we're picking you, but then they said maybe later. He said he had a private number. So whoever called had a hold of his number. I don't know who got the number. Maybe some low-rent assistant who had access to his telephone number, numbers to the guys who were in line for the draft, their telephone numbers. But somebody had access to the number and they called him. And that was just so wrong. That was just so wrong to call this young man and play this type of prank on him. And then he's live on a camera being filmed naturally because he's waiting, to get a call from a team. But this shows you just how cruel people are, and people don't have anything better to do with their time. And that's what you're seeing. Kind of like when people come in the chat and disrupt the live stream with stupid and ignorant commentary. It's the same thing. People who don't have anything better to do with their time on a Sunday. That's the way the world is. Just like this fucker here. He didn't have anything better to do with his time inside of an elevator on a cruise ship, but wreak havoc with some other strangers that he did not know, to my knowledge. But that's the world, is it not? Just a bunch of dirty heathens that are bored. Michael White, 18 years of age, Siler City, North Carolina, arrested in Florida for assaulting a patron on a cruise ship, Liberty of the Seas. $5,000 bond, walking free. What will his punishment be? I'll put that up on a poll as well. What punishment do you think he should get for this said crime of assisting others in brutally beating up a passenger on a cruise ship? Ten News was the source of this information. Check out my shorts. I got a lot of shorts in the YouTube queue. Once again, I won't do a live for every update on breaking news as to cut down my time. So if you don't see a live stream on an update to a story, I will do a 15-second short. So I have a lot of shorts in the YouTube queue just to cut down my time as live, because it does take up a lot of time, trying to go live and, bring you all the said commentary pertaining to breaking news. But that's the latest, everybody. African-American male arrested for beating up a patron on a cruise ship alongside others outside an elevator. Dispute over them jumping up and down, and one thing led to another. It's very sad. And this just goes to show you that you can't even say anything to people besides people having jacked up behavior. ignorant behavior. You can't even say anything about it. That's why I said it's the world that we live in. Even saying something can get you dead. Thank God the man didn't die. And thank God they didn't put their hands on the lady. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Angie, 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats always welcome to the live stream. You all have a wonderful week. God bless you. Check out my community page for said updates, breaking news, take the polls. Follow me also on the Newsbreak app. I have not put anything over there in a couple of months, but give me some time. I may try to upload some content over there as well. You all have a wonderful week and look forward to a movie suggestion for this week. I will post it to my community page. When I get an update to this story, I will put it in the YouTube queue. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you all so much for joining me.